right, Ricky, you are officially on the podcast with your own exclusive interview. Welcome to the podcast, to the
Oh,
Cryptocurrency Chat podcast.
thank
Now,
you.
like what I do with everybody that's first, this is not your first rodeo, by the way. You've been on the podcast before, but this is your first exclusive interview on the podcast. About 6 months ago, you were on the podcast, which is great. I do appreciate you being on the podcast. But this is your baby. This is it, man. You finally made it. You're you're up there, man. You're up there. I like to ask. There's always an icebreaker question, and the first icebreaker question I want to ask you is, what is your favorite sport?
Oh, the NFL. Unfortunately, my favorite team is the Chicago Bears.
The Chicago Bears. What's so special about them?
Huh? Just from Chicago, man. I don't know. Born and raised, lived here my whole life. So just one of those things you just do, man.
So
Unfortunately,
you
you live and die with your teams.
everybody has a favorite player. Who's your favorite player in the
Oh,
Bears?
now you know what the Bears. It's all about the history of defense. Even though Roger Goodell's kind of taken the league in a stupid direction, but Roquan Smith, man, I love middle linebacker, Chicago Bears, the way he plays, swallows running backs, and just incredible player. Great on-field vision, great hits the holes hard. Just great player, man. I love watching him play.
Awesome. Perfect. So with that said, Crypto Knots, welcome back to the Cryptocurrency Chat podcast. We have an exclusive interview here with Ricky Reto, the creator of RVNFT.art. We are welcoming him with open arms. Thank you for being on the podcast. Actually, Jake, can we get that plugin, please, if you have it on standby?
Sure thing.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I certainly do.
Okay.
We always appreciate people coming in and listening to all of our podcasts. All the content is for entertainment purposes only, and any comments made by us, the hosts, or any guests we have on the show is not financial advice. Remember, if you appreciate our show, like our content, please like and subscribe on YouTube. Hit the notification bell. We usually do our podcast every Wednesday and Sunday. That's the news and the top 10. But like today on Thursdays, we do the interviews, like here with Ricky from Raven NFT. But you can check us out on Discord. We have a lot of stuff going on there, as well as on Twitter with live spaces. John is doing that on a regular basis. It's been really fun out there. We also have a Patreon for subscribe amounts of $3, $5, and $10. The more you pay, the more content you get, like AMAs and extra content after these interviews. And if you want to support the platform, please donate via Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, or Basic Attention Token. All description and information in the description below.
Below. All
Trust me,
right.
I'm not going to give you any. I'm not going to give you any financial advice on this.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, let's get started. Ricky, your introduction. Obviously, I've done that, but we don't know your history. Would you please give us a little bit about who you are prior to you getting into crypto? Because we all know you as an OG in the Ravencoin community, but there had to be a time before crypto. What did you do before crypto?
I mean, I've still got a career. I'm a professional. I'm a geologist, so I do environmental science. I do radioactive soil cleanup, so I do investigations and remediations, and just kind of try to clean up the earth a little bit.
This is what you did before crypto? Before you even heard of
I
the
still do
word?
it. I still do it. I mean, I got a day job, man. The
Right.
NFTs at this point
Yes.
doesn't pay the bills, that's for sure.
Yes, so do I. This is fun, right?
Yeah, this is my hobby, man. This NFT stuff's my hobby. I just like doing it. I do it all for
Exactly.
free, so just
Exactly.
having
Yeah.
fun.
And that's what the community appreciates about you, man. You've been doing this stuff for free for a very long time, and seriously, the gratitude is just flooded, with
Well,
just towards you, for you. Everything about you is just you're a man of giving.
thank
That's
you.
how the community knows you. You're a man of giving. You know.
Yeah, so I mean, like, kind of all that started was, I mean, Ravencoin's been around for a few years now, and we've kind of just been hanging out on social chats, and people have been building tools, the asset tools and that kind of stuff, but there really hasn't been much like application with the network, and we haven't really built like an ecosystem where that's people are actually spending Raven on things. It's more mining communities and investors, and then obviously people trying to get their foot in the door with STOs and that kind of stuff, and And so, when we've been doing NFTs since day one of the asset layer. I mean, within 5 minutes of the asset layer going live, I was making an NFT, like, and so we kind of just traded them amongst friends. It was kind of just joking, I don't know, like we just kind of just made them for fun and just for laughs. And so then, Ethereum started really taking off with this NFT stuff. And so it's kind of like, what was Raven doing? Nothing really. And it's kind of like, oh, come on. Like, oh, we're going to miss a moment here. And it's like, we can do NFTs on Ravencoin, right? Like, we're a tokenization platform. We can do NFTs. Unique assets are NFTs, right? And so it's like, it's very easy to do. Ethereum's got the high gas fees and Ravencoin, you can transact for less than a penny. It's like, it's perfect, right? We can actually start building this up right now. And so it was kind of one of those things where it's just like kind of sitting on the sidelines. I was just kind of waiting around, hanging amongst friends on the Ravencoin community chats, and all of a sudden it was like a light bulb came off in my head, and it's like, let's do this, let's go. So that's kind of how it all started.
Nice. So we got a little bit about your background, which I appreciate. What are you doing now? Not to get into too much detail, because there's so much more stuff that you're involved with, but just give us a little frosting from the top of the cake. What are you doing now?
You mean with RV NFT? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, constantly putting together, different NFT projects. I've got a number of them going on currently with a bunch of different artists. I do a lot of one-on-one consultations with artists too.
Oh, really?
It's not just a yeah, it's not a basic like what we do, or I try to specialize doing is doing like NFT templates for artists. Like if you're an artist and you submit like an image file or a PNG, like you can simply just drop that on IPFS and you have an image to put with the token. But like I can give you artist title block. I can give you auto looping animations. I can give you a download button where you can click on your artist title block and download the image file directly. I can give you an NFT description of your work. I can give you a certificate authenticity. I could bundle that all into a single NFT. And so it kind of elevates the kind of offerings that artists can provide and maybe make their work appear more attractive to collectors and buyers. And so a lot of that takes time to build. And so I talk with artists and I get their work and then I go over descriptions with them. And the kind of cool thing is that I get a lot of people from overseas who maybe English might not be their first language, and so I can kind of help them craft more flowing descriptions, I guess, so to say, to kind of like help them and assist them to like bring them into the market and help them participate easier too. And so there's just a ton of different ways I can consult with artists and bring them into the community. Obviously, with RVNFT, I knocked off the 500 Raven minting fee for a main asset. So an artist, if they're in a financially challenged or in a country where maybe they're not thriving economically, they can really get started with their artwork as simple as easy as like right now I guess 50 cents. And so a lot of times I forget about the fee and they don't we forget to pay each other and it's like whatever, I don't care. Like it's just all about just bringing people into the community and then when they sell their stuff or whatever and they decide maybe they want to go off and do their own thing and they're more comfortable with the NFTs, that's cool too. But it's just making it easy for people to come in and participate, right? And so
All right, we'll dive a little deeper on that. There's a lot of stuff there. Absolutely.
right.
I want to ask you, out of all of the platforms and projects and the blockchain projects that exist out there, why did you choose Ravencoin?
Because I mean, it's you just got the OG cypherpunk mentality, like Bitcoin. I mean, like I'm basically a Bitcoin maximalist. Like I buy Bitcoin mainly. It's like my biggest in my portfolio by far, and it doesn't have asset tokenization, at least at the main layer. So it's like when I was a miner, I started to look into projects that kind of fit more of my ideals. And Ravencoin being the no ICO, no pre-mine, fair launch, truly decentralized, run your own node, you participate in the network, do whatever you want, censorship, permissionless, censorship resistant, like all that stuff truly decentralized platforms really appeal to me. And so I kind of looked at Ravencoin as being like the next great experiment, right? Like Bitcoin, since it was the first, it was allowed to kind of grow in a decentralized fashion, and it was kind of grew slowly over the years or whatever. And then you started with Ethereum, you started to see all these like fancy like corporate chains, I guess you call them, with their ICOs and their fancy white papers and their millions and millions of dollars of funding. And it's like they have all these centralized development teams and CEOs. I mean, what a CEO in crypto is insane. Like that's just a dumb idea. This is like all these crazy narratives or whatever, And so I just kind of saw Ravencoin as kind of like
Ah,
that second experiment, to Bitcoin, right? Like Bitcoin succeeded. Can we do it again? And I think Ravencoin is that chain. If we can recreate it, it's an experiment. But if we can, that's the chain to do it. And so I've always been on board since. I mean, I got involved with Raven like 2 months into the project. I think we launched in January 2018. I've been with Raven since March, I think, of 2018. So I've been there very, very early. And so and I love seeing this grow. Like just from what it was to what it is today, and it's super exciting, man.
since you're an OG in the Ravencoin community, can you give us a little history of the community itself and how it's evolved over the years? Because we're coming up to the halving now, and this is a very precious moment for the Ravencoin community. But there has been many waves, good and bad. I want you to be transparent and paint a historical picture of the Ravencoin community and how they adopted or rejected Ravencoin, because you've pretty much been there since the beginning, and there's been a lot of transitions since then. You from your
Uh,
experience.
I mean, I mean, basically from my experience, it's been more like kind of just a tight knit group of people. Who were kind of like Ravencoin was born out of the crypto winter. And so we kind of just all huddled around each other and we kind of kept warm during this time. So we, just be loose and light and fun. And it's just like, the Ravencoin community Discord back in the day. I mean, the market and price channel was like the place to be in all of the internet. Like it was great. I loved being a part of it. I've been on lots of internet chat boards and, nothing quite like that though. And it was just awesome. And you had like all these kind of, free, open, honest people who are like all believed in diehard decentralization and just trying to really build this thing and like just kind of hanging out and just having fun. It was it was such a great place to be. Honestly, I think over time, it's kind of like he kind of hasn't been as cool like in that Ravencoin community Discord. I'm actually not a part of that channel anymore. There's a lot of people that talk about like lots of other projects, and not so much talk about Ravencoin in those channels, and it just really didn't appeal to me as much. And so I was just kind of like sort of getting angry and going on there and just seeing people talk about random shit coins or whatever or other altcoin Ponzi, scammy projects or whatever all the time. I was kind of like, I think it's time for me to go. So I just kind of took off and kind of just, I guess, hid over in my Raven RVNFT Discord channel.
Mhm.
But I still feel like there's still lots of great community. Like we have like the Drop Shop on Twitter, which has got a lot of people who are super into NFTs, are super awesome and helpful, and so there's a lot of other Discord NFT channels out there, and so it's kind of branched. It's not as consolidated as it used to be with the Ravencoin talk. And obviously you have the Ravencoin Telegram and the Ravencoin Reddits, and so as it's growing, I mean, there's a lot more outlets for people to go to get their Ravencoin content, which is a great thing.
Yeah. You mentioned Dropshop. That's a new I guess meetup there in Twitter. That's just been awesome. It's just pure, just Ravencoin all the way. It's super positive energy there. It's very encouraging, and you're one of the guys that are in there that are encouraging people doing things.
Yeah,
So
I'm often in there. I mean, so kind of what it started was just kind of a way for each other to help share each other's work, right? Like someone's got a project or a new drop or whatever, they can post it on Dropshop, and then it gets the eyes of the people in there, and then they'll retweet it or they'll like it or they'll comment on the tweet, and so it's kind of like a little viral marketing little chat, I guess, and then. In between all that, obviously, you can talk with all the other artists and all the other platform owners, and there's really a lot of connection going on, even for people that, like I do a lot of stuff with RV NFT and the RV NFT artists and musicians or whatever, but like, like chains like, or platforms like Black Dog or JNFTs or some of the other platforms, they're there, and a lot of the other artists that are doing work on those and selling on those platforms too. And so it's just kind of a place where everyone can kind of come together, even though they're kind of maybe having their own little pockets or doing their own little things. It's cool.
Thank you for talking about Ravencoin. Now, you obviously have Raven RVNFT. That's your baby. That's your bread and butter. That's you're probably one of your I want to say one of your most inspirational hobbies that you have, because you're always actively involved in that. That's something that when did you start this, by the way?
Oh, April, I think, May. So it hasn't been that long. I mean, the whole NFT ecosystem, and believe it or not, it's just grown exponentially, and not that long of a time. I mean, I know the Stibbits guys and me and just a couple others, like Johnny Raven and some of the other Synth and some of the other guys. It was just kind of a handful of people uh, way back then, and they had the auctions going on at Braveland, and we were doing like other stuff with the expo halls over there, and kind of utilizing the Braveland space to kind of network and build it up and kind of try to build a community. And so, but now obviously, like, we have all these different platforms, new platforms and marketplaces seem to be popping up by the day, and all these.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting loads of interest from people that are wanting to submit NFTs through RVNFT. I mean, it's even getting hard for me to keep up. This is like turned into like another full-time job on top of my other job, and so I'm just constantly working on RVNFT now. It's like, yes, I mean, the interest is really, really picking up. It's great.
Nice. So you did mention Braveland. For the viewers and listeners out there, if you want to know what has been going on in Braveland, I have actually taken the time to record pretty much every single auction to date that has been going on in Braveland. So you can definitely go back on YouTube and check out those videos there from pretty much day one up until the current one that we had just was a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago. Uh, Ricky, I want to ask you, what makes RVNFT special?
I think just the ease of entry. I think how easy I make it for. I mean, I'm volunteering a lot of time to this, and obviously I've got a voice in the community. I mean, I've been here since day one of the NFT community, and so built up a pretty decent social following on Twitter. And I can help promote brand new artists who come in who maybe don't have um, more than a handful of followers to their name, and so I can immediately get them out to 1,000, or I think I'm at 1,800 followers. I can get it out to 1,800 people, right? Their work from day one, and so that kind of will help them grow. I've removed the 500 Raven cost to mint. So as little as 5 Raven, if you just want to mint one unique asset, 5 Ravens all it costs. Like I said, I do all the specialized template work. That is all custom work. It takes me about a half hour to 45 minutes, sometimes, even longer. I mean, I was working on one for 5 hours the other day, just a single NFT, because we were trying to troubleshoot it. But it's like, I just do this stuff, and it's just fun to me. And so I do all this free work, and it's like I get artists receive the benefit of having, more of maybe a cleaner, fancier, with, kind of more bells and whistles added to their work. Um, I work with just a fantastic, brilliant mind in Zebra Teeth. He's kind of like, he's my partner in this whole thing. Like, he's kind of the behind the scenes, like, brilliant, like, we'd be nothing without Zebra Teeth. Like, he's like the man, and he creates all these awesome templates, like our virtual CD. I don't know if you checked that out before, or just our elevation templates. We came out with that Ravencoin white paper that is going to be coming out pretty soon.
You actually mentioned the Ravencoin white paper 6 months ago.
Yes, and that's how long it's taken to find. Like, this is
explain it. Hold on,
beast.
before you continue. Explain what we're talking about here, because unless people have actually watched the last podcast with you in it, they have no clue what we're talking about. Give us a breakdown of what we're talking about here.
All right. First thing I want to say is it's coming out Wednesday. We've set a deadline. It's coming out Wednesday. Okay, so keep your eyes peeled Wednesday. So what we did was Zebra Teeth and I had this vision, like, let's create the coolest white paper for Ravencoin in all of crypto, right? Because like white papers are kind of just like a PDF, and then they go over the explanation, and it's on a web page, and okay, cool. You read it and whatever. It's got some fancy stuff. You might not know 3/4 of what's being written, but you read it, and it's like, okay, I like this project, or I don't like this project, or whatever. And so my idea was just like to take the Ravencoin white paper to like freaking next level. Like we created Revertief created, this guy's the mastermind behind it, created a 3D interactive white paper that had flippable pages. We have artwork that we got 4 other RV NFT artists to contribute to that are within this white paper. All kinds of like cool stuff. You're just gonna have to see it to believe it. But I mean, this thing was a nightmare to put together. I mean, we spent, when did we talk about it? May or June?
That was
when we talked last?
I think it was July.
July, yeah. So I mean, we've been struggling through it for a long time. I mean, there's been all kinds of. I mean, this is built from scratch, right? So we built the book that opens and closes and flips pages, and I mean, it's all been built straight from scratch. And so there was all kinds of like unknowns that kind of delayed us and stalled us out, and we're kind of like, how does this work? How do we fix this? And it's not flipping right, or and so we finally got it. Now all we need is just some small little tweaks to finalize it. And so we need till Wednesday, but Wednesday is coming out. It's going to be free for every single person in the community. This is not a
wow.
Yeah. This is not I'm going to send it to auction and try to get 100,000 Raven for this, or only one person gets owned this. Like, no, this is going to be a community token, something that everybody in the Ravencoin community can be proud of. I mean, if you're trying to own it to make money, you're probably not going to end up making money on it, because there's going to be a ton of them, and I'm just going to keep handing them out to whoever wants them. And I'm going to encourage that people take duplicates and hand them to their friends, or just have them to give to new people who come into the community who want them. And so I really want to make this an inclusive thing, and hopefully make this kind of just this push to get this out there, a big event amongst the community, because this thing, I'm telling you, is glorious. Like, the design work on this is I mean, second to none when it comes to NFTs. Like, this is incredible. So,
are you able to
anyone who's going to want one. Huh?
Are you able to give us a sneak peek?
Oh.
Is that too much to ask for?
Yeah, no, I'm going to do it. Let's see. What do I got to do again to
share?
Yeah. I don't see the button anymore.
You should have it there. Just
screen? Share your screen?
You're correct. Remember, you're always welcome to share your private keys. We're okay with that. We as a community are okay with that. Jake, are you going to get on that white paper?
Can you see it or no?
No, I don't. No. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna take a bit to load. Can you see that or no?
It's loading.
The loading bar.
It's loading.
Yeah, this thing is. I'm telling you, it's a monster. So we're just gonna wait a little bit on that, and then to get back to it.
Looks like. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Go back to the other video. The other video.
Yeah, this thing takes a little bit to load. It's we're trying to reduce it down as small a size as we can. Unfortunately, like there's a lot of textures and a lot of detail that are put into it that it takes up a lot of file size. So the model viewer kind of takes a bit to load up, but I'll give you a little sneak peek, just a kind of a quick rundown once it gets done loading.
Okay. So while it's loading, let's ask a couple more questions. Let's see. We're talking about Raven. NFT. You did mention that there is free IPFS
hosting,
right? Are you guys doing that, or are you guys using a different service?
Yeah, I'm doing it, and we have some peers that are helping us too. So, and then obviously with Ravencoin, we have when you post your. Cool thing about Raven was when you post your assets to the network, that there are servers that kind of identify and also help peer share your assets or your IPFS. So
Now,
we kind of, we're always looking for more people to be able to do that too, because that's just going to help with decentralization of and actually protecting
absolutely.
and keeping the integrity of the NFTs, and so keep them from going away, because obviously they can degrade and deprecate over time if you don't keep them hosted. And so that's a really awesome initiative that's going on too.
Yeah.
Here we go. You guys ready? You see it?
Hold on a second here. It says stream paused. Go ahead and click on. There you go. There you go. There you go. Go back to
go back
the card,
to
or the book actually.
or the book actually.
See it?
No.
I wonder
It
why
says
that's not-
stream paused.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, that didn't work. Okay. Let's try it again. Here we go. Loading. Stream paused.
No?
Not working. I was hoping to get a sneak peek. I barely saw like this book.
Did you?
Yeah, you had it, but
You
then
had
you
it,
clicked,
but then you
clicked off of it,
you
so I'm
clicked
not
off
sure what
of
you
it,
did.
so I'm not sure what you did.
All we're seeing is the restream of your stream.
Why that was working before?
Oh, there you go. Hold on.
There you go. Hold on.
Something else. Here we go. Got it. Here we go.
got it?
Here we go. There we go. See it?
Yes, we got it. We got it.
Here we go. Here we go. You ready?
Go ahead.
So then you can. I'm just gonna go through it quick.
Really
Just
nice
sneak
animation.
peek. Oh, you can just twirl it around. It's got all the text for it and everything. It's got animations in between.
You know, I don't mean to interject on this, but I keep thinking that in the concept of rarity, right? The reason the Bored Ape Yacht Club became so popular within Ethereum was it like forced scarcity? But one of the things I found really, really intriguing, I played World of Warcraft and have for years, was when devs created an object of scarcity that was like hidden and no one would really notice it unless they just happened to be there at the right time at the right place. And once they discovered, like, oh, there's something hidden here, and then there's a clue. And I guess what I'm saying is, concept of a scavenger hunt within NFTs, to me, sounds really intriguing. I really appreciate what Ricky's doing here with providing this NFT to everyone, because it's freaking amazing. But one of the things that makes NFTs valuable is not just because a bunch of people with a lot of money say they're valuable, but because it's rare. Obviously, NFTs being non-fungible makes them completely unique. But the community is always interested. I know the world community in general is interested in truly rare and unique things. And if you kind of hint there might be something neat coming up, it garners an avalanche of interest from people being like, oh, that thing that's really unique. I guess what I'm saying is that intrigue and rarity and limited access, for some reason, gets people getting people's panties in a twist, and they just really want to get on board. This is amazing, and I was thinking, I can see why you say that it could be very easy to just put it up there for a million Raven or something, but you want to give it away. I really appreciate that. I can also see the verity and value to making something extraordinarily unique and rare and difficult to get hold of.
Right, totally. And I mean, so obviously we do a lot of that too with our one-of-one small edition sizes and stuff like that. I mean, obviously most of the stuff we do is one-of-ones. So I totally understand that. But this is not the traditional sense, right? This is the value here is that you're really into Ravencoin. You love the community, you love the network. And this is just something you can own and you can be proud of, something you can brag to other people in other blockchains and say, my blockchain or my white paper is better than yours. Nah, 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 nah. Like,
Exactly.
like that's the value, right? Like,
It's an increased draw.
I'm not trying to like get people to hoard a bunch of these and try to sell them on secondary markets, even though I'm sure that's going to be attempted to happen or whatever. This is the value of this, and like the cool thing about Ravencoin tokenization is the value could be really anything, right? Like it doesn't have to be an NFT, a one of one. You could sell shares in a company, or you could put your house on it, or you could tokenize anything you want, or even like physical, like a coin or something. You want to put like an NFT to a physical coin or some kind of collectible or anything, and kind of have that be a representative or even a certificate of authenticity or something else. I mean, just because we're super into NFTs and it's kind of really taken off and become popular in Raven doesn't mean that Raven is just an NFT platform. I mean, I think it does NFTs best, or we'll end up doing NFTs best when we get more development and more interest and more platforms going and more artists on board. I think it'll end up being the best because quite frankly, it's just super cheap to do it, and we've got the tools that are needed, and so. Ethereum's kind of just wrecking themselves with their gas fees and just all the other stuff. It's just really turning people off, and we're happily bringing them here, and so
Right.
hopefully,
Cool.
that's the goal.
All right, I want to ask this. This is a new thing that I noticed has been pretty much a copy and paste from a lot of new people trying to create their own exchange. But I have the belief that this is the more or less what you're doing here. You're promoting that you're removing the 500 Raven main asset barrier, right? Which you technically are, because you went ahead and burned your own 500 Raven to create a main asset, right? What is that? What is that main asset?
RVNFT.
RV NFT. That's the main
Yeah,
asset on the Ravencoin blockchain that people can follow and see exactly what you're minting off of that particular
right.
main
You can go
asset.
on you can go on the Asset Explorer, just search RVNFT, and you'll just see a big list of everything I've done.
Mhm.
Can't hide anything, even
Right.
the stuff I've had to burn because it's been scammy or counterfeit or whatever that I caught. It's still on there. You see
Hmm.
all the mistakes and all the great things too.
You learn through that. But what I'm trying to get at is that a lot of people are doing this to bring value to their main asset, which and technically it is actually bringing a lot more value to Raven NFT, right? Technically, as you continue, as customers continue to go to you to create to mint assets under the RVNFT main asset, it is bringing more value to that. It's bringing more awareness. It's starting to become a brand name. So that there in itself has a lot more value than anything else that's there, right?
Yeah, I mean, nobody's come to me with an offer or anything. No, I'm just kidding. No, so what I'm trying to do is create a brand that people can, an honest brand, a transparent brand, and I'm really trying hard to make sure that we're developing or producing quality efforts from artists, quality artists that are doing 100% their own work, authentic NFTs. My marketplace is extremely transparent in the fact that the artists charge what they want. I have no say in that, and then I list it for whatever they want, and the buyer can say, okay, that's worth it, I like it, I'll buy it, or they can't. There's no manipulating or anything that goes on, and some of these other chains with the auction stuff and whatnot, and so it's very fluid and transparent. I've been trying to just run a sound, honest uh, business, but I mean it's not even really a business because I do it all for free, but just a sound, honest operation, I guess, so to say, so that when collectors, hopefully, when collectors come, they can say, hey, okay, I know that this is legit, and this is from the artist, and this is their work, and this is what they want to sell, and so I just want people to feel comfortable in doing and coming to RVNFT and doing that. I guess
And
that's all I'm trying to do is
how much of a fee do you take? That's the main question. Why would
zero. everything's zero. When I do the templates, zero. The consultation, zero. When I do the minting, all it costs them is the 5 Raven exact network fee. They want to do a sub asset, it's the exact 100 Raven. I don't charge them an extra Raven. I don't charge them 10 extra, nothing. Zero. Exact. All I want to do is recover what's in my wallet that I had to do for minting your work. That's it. Never asked anybody for anything. Artists will come to me and they'll say, "Hey, you have no say about it. I'm giving you a donation." I don't turn it down, right? Like some people just want to kick me some cash for being awesome or whatever and helping them out. And okay, that's cool. But like, I don't ask for it. I never ask for a dime. People come to me and like, "Dude, can I pay you somehow?" I'm like, "No, you don't have to, man. It's all good." Like this is a hobby, right? This is a hobby for me. When I get off my work and my real life and my day job, I just enjoy doing this. I'm not a very artistic person myself. I can't draw. I can't do digital art. I can't play music, but I love art and I love the creativity of artists. And I love talking to and picking their brains and learning their creative processes and just hanging out, And so like, it's kind of, we just kind of formed a little misfit band of artists over at RVNFT, and we're kind of just our own little artist collective. And so it's just cool, man. I don't know. I just enjoy it. It's a good vibe. It's great.
So here's the scary part. You keep saying that it's a hobby. It's a hobby. It's a hobby. It's a hobby. The reality is that people are making a business out of using your platform, right?
Right.
The people are trying to flip some coin off of your platform. Is RVNFT a licensed business?
No, it's just I mean, it's just a website, man. I don't know.
It's a website, but isn't that kind of scary? Like, maybe for you it's not a big deal, but for people that are trying to make a business out of creating NFTs, it might be a little concerned that there's no legality there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I guess that would be more on them, right? Like if they want to have to, make a business out of it or whatever. I'm just kind of a conduit, I guess, the way I see it.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that. That will put a lot of people in a lot of dangerous situations with the governments, especially if they continue to build more. Like they're putting a lot of trust into you, but at the end, if they take that I guess that burn of the bridge, it kind of sucks that you kind of didn't back up your own website / company. Just be very careful is what I'm saying. I would say make it legitimate, get your business license. I'm not trying to give you a sucker punch here, but it's I don't want people in the Ravencoin community to get hurt by thinking that it's all rainbows and butterflies. The reality is that the government will come, and when they come, they're going to come in force. It's going to hurt, and you're not going to be there to back them up because this is not a business. This is not legit. We create assets.
Well,
It's over and done with. You pushed it over. They took it over, right?
sort of weird attributes. I guess I can see what you're saying, John, but the if it's a donation or if it's like even if he just goes with like a 501c3 standpoint, it's kind of a helping of the community. But I can definitely see how you're saying someone with money is going to stick it to him, because I know I've been stuck to before when I was trying to. I just as an aside, I did volunteer for a long time in donating my IT services for a very long time, and then somebody got on my case about it and tried to sue me for it. And I was like, "What? I'm doing this for free. What's your beef?" So
Exactly. All right, let's move on
You
over
think,
to.
you think,
Let's talk about Ravendoe. Ravendoe is a project that you've been working on with several people, right? Are you able to talk about who you've been working with in regards to Ravendoe?
Yeah, so no, Johnny Raven, like I said, I think I mentioned him earlier. It goes all the way back to Braveland, and he's kind of one of the original NFT artists. He was doing auctions, the Stibbits auctions back in the day, submitting to that. And so he came to me with an idea. Gosh, I mean, we've probably been at this now a couple of months trying to get this project up and going, about kind of an NFT dojo, I guess. Kind of a club, a collector's club where he's got a bunch of different martial arts belts that he has that he's giving away, and he's got some character animations, of some maybe the famous people that are in Taekwondo or some of the martial arts or whatever. And so we've kind of put together a customized, Zebra and I have kind of put together a little customized package for him with some kind of specific things that hopefully, the community is pretty excited about. So you want me to screen share that or?
Absolutely. Show us. Show us.
Sure,
Show us.
sure. Okay.
All right. So we did get the privilege to see this beforehand. Jake, come on. Tell me what you think.
Why am I doing this again?
There we go. It's loading. It's loading. Stream paused. Sit tight. Okay, it's still loading. And you switched over to screen sharing. Screen sharing.
What did I do again? Why is this not popping up? There we go. Okay, now I know how to do it.
Got it? Okay, here we go. Let's see here. What do we have? There it is. All right. Is this the first?
See it? Hey, see this?
Is this the first time?
See me on there? Yeah, well, so Johnny's been sharing some little bits, but I don't think he's been including my own character in it. So this is kind of an exclusive of Tricky Ricky, someone he made for me. So we got the animation here. It's a looping MP4 animation. Behind here, we got a animated background that has some of the characters that are in the series. We did that all custom for him. We got the artist title block, and you see how it kind of highlights here. You can actually just click on this, and you can download the MP4 straight file. It's got the white belt here we've added. It's customized because this is the white belt level. He's going to have different belt levels of all of his martial artist guys. And then we have some.
Can you upgrade these guys, or what? How do you get a?
So what we're gonna do is gonna be the custom the animations of the characters, and they're going to be at different belt levels. So you could buy a white belt level, a green, yellow, black. So there's going to be different releases, and so kind of the cool thing here is we have this. We got these status bars. We got strength, stamina, speed, and so as they kind of move up in rank, their stats are going to move up along with it too. And so we got a little description here. So Tricky has some fire tricks up his sleeves. If you see when he punches, he's got some fires. And kind of one of the cool things here.
I see that you're using the Ravencoin IPFS. That's Doug's service, correct?
Yes.
Mango Farm.
Well, it's just the gateway. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you'll be talking to Doug soon, a couple weeks, right?
Yes, sir.
So, and then
what is the
other things we have.
Yeah, what is that? The COA.
So this is something we offer as part of the NFT package when we build a template for artists. We have a certificate of authenticity. You click on that, and boom, there you go. Got a certificate of authenticity for your artwork. Just a little added bonus. You can click on, or you can scan the QR code, and it'll take you to the Asset Explorer link of your asset.
Okay.
The title, the artist, the edition size, the asset ID, and then it's got a little photo.
That's it, dude. You right there. That is awesome.
Hey, you like that? Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh? And we also add a web tab icon at the top with a web tab title, so you don't just get this boring IPFS gobbledygook at the top. So, just like nice little finishing touches, man. I mean, it's kind of like what we've been focusing on with our NFT is just kind of building cool things.
Now, are you
little cool custom templates and just always trying to think of new ideas on how we can improve the NFT experience? And so,
are you guys going to be able to?
I think even more than. Actually, so I was watching his video, and there actually might be like some battle games that he might be creating. I mean, I don't know. We're kind of at the start. He just built a website. He got a video together, and we got these 5. I think there's 5 of them that are set to release tomorrow. These 5 animations on sale. And so there's this whole spiel, right? And so he's got a website that's going to come out. And so I would just say, stay tuned for the website release and kind of our animations release, or initial animations release tomorrow. And there's actually some really cool things about it. He's got like a rewards program when you collect all the belts Like there's actually individual NFTs with different belts, and when you collect them all, you get to like these certain rewards tiers, and you'll get prizes for hitting a tier. And like one of the tiers, which is really cool, is like you could get your own custom Tricky Ricky. Like you could get like John, you could put your face, give him a picture of your face, and then you get your own NFT. And like
Nice.
when he first sent this to me of my own, like I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I like was sending it to all my like friends and family who know nothing about crypto, and they're just like, "Oh my god, that's hilarious!" So I don't know, it's really excited about this. So yeah, there's a lot to it. It's very detailed. He's got a lot of plans for it. He's got a roadmap on his website that's coming out, and so I definitely recommend when all this does hit and he does announce it all and he shares all the links or whatever to check
So
it out and read it in detail because it's going to be a really big project, like a long-lasting project that's going to go on for a while.
who do we follow?
And
Where do we go to follow this
you want
project?
to follow? So you'd have to go to Johnny Raven Twitter handle.
At Johnny Raven.
Yeah, I believe it's it might be Johnny Carset. I'm not sure. Uh, if someone's interested or whatever, they can always message me.
Okay.
Let's see. Here we go. It's yeah, it's at Johnny Carset. So at JohnnyKarstadt, and it pops up as Johnny Raven, his Twitter handle.
Okay.
And so I would just say follow him, check it out, and make sure he's going to announce the website link and the video probably any time now. Maybe this was the podcast was the announcement, and once this hits, so
Does he know that you were going to
so
talk about it on the podcast?
yes. So we have like so much stuff that's like not even we can't even talk about, So it's like I just go with all the artists that I'm building stuff with, and especially like Zed Retief or whatever, and like all the things, plans and visions. I'm like, so can I talk about this, or what should I say about this? And so
Awesome.
yeah, we could definitely talk about this because he's like, go nuts, talk about whatever you want.
Awesome. You mentioned to me, was it yesterday? I think it was that you wanted to talk about Joaquin.
Oh yeah, so well, he's a relatively new artist who came to us maybe 2 months ago. Um, he's creating a blockchain based game, and so he's been doing a lot of really cool, interesting, high quality NFTs. And one of the things that he's offering right now is kind of like a pre uh, video game development fundraiser NFT promo stuff where you can actually earn a seat on the council of his video game where you'll get voting rights on his game. You'll get early access to some of the resources, and so I guess it's like a resource hungry game where you'll need to collect resources and stuff like that. And so if you buy one of his NFTs that's on our site, there should be another one coming out either tomorrow or maybe Saturday or something soon. But he's already got one out called Reborn that's on our marketplace, and there's an edition of 5. I think they're like 1,000 Raven each or whatever. But when you buy it, you actually get early access to a blockchain-based video game, which I think is super
Is
exciting.
it
And
on
so it's
Ravencoin?
kind of like, so that I'm not exactly sure. I know he's doing the promotional NFTs on Ravencoin. I'm not exactly sure what. I don't have a lot of details on it. All I've ever been told is blockchain based, so I'm not sure.
So did he
And
reach
so
out
it's
to you
still
guys to create the NFTs for him?
Oh, so I've been working with him. Like I said, he came to us a couple months ago before the whole video game stuff kind of came about, and he's been doing 3D models, AR. We've been doing AR models and some pretty cool vehicles that he's kind of built. He had this really cool dome, I guess. I don't know, like they call it the theory of evolution, where these it was like a big pyramid, and the sides would fold down, and you just see the progress of mankind each time you went around this like 4-sided triangle thing. And so you put an AR, and so you could see it like in your living room or whatever, and it just looks super cool. And that was a real big hit. And so he's just kind of been doing NFTs with us for a couple months now. I just think he's an insanely talented individual. Like this guy is super under the radar right now. And so the video game thing, I think it's just kind of cool because we're now adding another level to or dynamic to Ravencoin. With the video game stuff, obviously, like Humble Miner's got his phone games and stuff like that, but I don't think we have any. And like I said, I don't know if it's going to be on Raven or not, but it is a blockchain-based game, and so
I'm sure anyone that's listening to this or watching this right now and just getting an impression of you right now for the first time, I'm sure they're wondering how you do it. And I'm sure this is only just a fraction of the work that you're doing that you're telling us here on the podcast. I'm sure you're doing a lot more stuff behind the scenes. How do you do it, man? When do you sleep? When do you get time to work? What do you do? Are you cloned? Are you one of those robots, AI? What are you? What's going
I,
on?
I'll be honest, man. It's easy to put your time and effort into something when you really love to do something, and so like it's just grown into a passion. I mean, I started this because I wanted Ravencoin to have something. I just felt like it was missing something, something that we could take and run with. I mean, there's always been the big grand visions of the STOs and all kinds of different ways that we can have tokenization adopted on Raven, and it just kind of had. I mean, in the large scale, it just kind of hadn't come to fruition yet, and so I just honestly, I just got frustrated, and I thought, hey, let's try it with NFTs. This is something I know art. I'm a huge art collector. I've been collecting art for 25 years. I know I kind of know the scene. I know the vibe. I kind of know like kind of the structure. Even though NFTs are a brand new thing, I figured I could just take kind of some of the stuff I've applied and learned over the years in just my own art collections, and um, so I just went with it, and then it just kind of just met people, right? And so I just started talking and started networking, and then started learning things and kind of learning how to work these templates and all kinds of other customizations and stuff. And so I've just been learning on the fly and just learning from experience, and you know, just kind
Nice,
of going from there.
nice. There's a couple things that you mentioned to me that you wanted to talk about, and I have no clue what it is, but I'm gonna see if I can refresh your mind. You want to talk about virtual CD. You want to talk about
Yeah.
C
So
skills and watchers.
Yeah, okay. So I'll start with the virtual CD. So the virtual CD is some template that Zebra Teeth also created. I mean, I got to say, you ask when do I sleep? When does Zebra Teeth sleep? Like the design work is just freaking ridiculous what he's doing and coming up with. And not only that, a lot of the stuff he's applying, he's giving to RV NFT artists to utilize and musicians. And so basically, what the virtual CD is, it's a 3D interactive CD that takes something a dead format, a physical format of CD. Like who uses CDs anymore, right? And basically, like I don't know, is makes it cool again because vinyl made a comeback. Why not a CD? And so you can kind of play with it, spin it around. It's got a feature where if it is an open and close button. If you hit open, I give you a little like 1 minute preview of the track, and you can hear the audio of a preview, so you can kind of hear the vibe of the album or the single or whatever it is. It's got album artwork on the front, the back, and it's got a CD, and so you'd have to check it out to see it in person. But they're really neat, and so then we also have a download button where you can download the zip file of the album, and I can password protect that, so you can get the whole album password protected, and then. And so it kind of like what I was thinking
That's cool.
it kind of bridges a gap that has never existed before in digital music, right? Like
Yes.
we've all made the shift to Spotify and to Napster, if you're old enough like me to remember Napster and
Jake.
some of these other things or whatever. Like we've never like a lot of music collectors, and I'm a huge music collector too. I have like hundreds and hundreds of vinyl. A lot of music collectors miss the physical feel of an album release, and so when you have digital, you just have an iPod or, I mean, God, I'm really dating myself even with an iPod. You have your phone that has music on it,
Yeah.
you don't really have something you could play with or, fidget around with, or like maybe you can get like an album booklet or something you could scroll through or whatever. Right. And so, that was just an idea that we had and we just went with it. And so now we got it. And so now musicians who want to mint their albums can come to us, and we can give them a template set up that they can put their album artwork in, fit it in these templates, and then we just build it for them, and then they have a CD.
How much? What's how much are you charging for that?
If whatever the artist wants, man. If they want to charge 1,000 Raven, they can
No,
charge
how
a
much
thousand.
how
They
much
want
are
to
you
charge
charging for that service?
0. I don't charge anything. I'm telling you, man. People think I'm crazy. This is just fun. I don't know what to say.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy. When
Hey,
do you
you know what? This is the way I look at it, man. Like before I started RVNFT, I spent a lot of times on the Ravencoin social media chats and just kind of screwing
Mhm.
around, being a dipshit bag holder, whatever you want to call me, Curtis, coined by Bruce Fenton. And so just kind of, I mean, it seems like a more productive way for me to be involved in a Ravencoin community.
Awesome.
Does that make sense?
Bro, yes. So great. So great.
Yeah.
You said you want
So,
to talk about...
like Ravencoin is going to be made, it's going to be made or broken by people that are volunteering their time. Developers, community developers, just people putting in time. Like, I mean, this is how these kind of networks have to grow. We don't have the ICO money. We don't have, the big centralized tech dev teams, and you know what I mean? Like, we don't have the kings and queens and the rulers, and everyone's kind of free to do whatever they want. And some people are going to have great ideas that are going to build on Ravencoin. That's going to help the popularity. But
that's exactly
a lot of our growth is going to be relied upon volunteer efforts, and that's the way it's been since its start. And so I've just kind of carried on that mentality and that ethos with some of the other great people in our community, like Droz and Doug and Tron and some of these other people who, have put in a lot of time, free time and effort into making Ravencoin what it is. And so this is just paying it forward, man, and doing what needs to be done.
Awesome.
You got to spend Ravencoin, and you got to build things with Ravencoin, and we got to create ecosystems for people to spend their Ravencoin. And so
exactly,
this is a way I can contribute, and this is how I stepped in. I don't know, it's very simple.
You want to talk about C skills and watchers?
That's what C skills. Again, with Zeb Retief, the guy's just crazy innovative with the stuff he does. Every Friday he comes out with a C skills, which is basically a really nice, artistic, cool looking skull, and they've gotten to become really popular.
C skulls.
But you know what they are, right? Every time, and every Friday they come out and people kind of wait for them, and they kind of try to hit the F5 as fast as they can to like pit for it to hit the shop and then race to checkout or whatever. And so it's kind of been like kind of a cool little thing that we've had with some of the collectors and Raven and whatnot. But cool thing was with every 5th release, he does something special. It's not just the image, right? He does like some kind of cool code under the hood, innovative, feature that maybe has never existed before in an NFT before. And so you can kind of get like an NFT first.
Wow.
And so you want to talk about scavenger hunts, Jake? The last NFT that he came out with was kind of a scavenger hunt where if you clicked the mouse 10 times really fast, the image would change to a different color, variant color image. And then like it also had like an X-ray to where you could see the different color behind it. If you clicked on it, it would change the color. And so all these different cool Easter eggs, we call them, features built within this NFT. And so we kind of took that opportunity to kind of hint users to say, hey, if you can find out everything that's baked within this NFT and kind of explain to us on Twitter what you found, the first person to get it wins a prize. And I sent them just a random, I don't know, ancient NFT or token or something like that. And so people were having fun with it. And it's like, so these are the kinds of things you can do with NFTs. It doesn't have to just be a simple PNG or JPEG image, or it doesn't have to be a simple MP3 or FLAC file dump into IPFS. Really, the sky is the limit when it comes to innovating technology under the hood of your NFT. And so it's kind of like that's kind of where my head's at and my focus is at, and Zeb Retief and some of the people with RV NFTs, like kind of like, what can we do with an NFT that's never been done before,
Right.
And so it's just one of those things. And then we want to talk about the watchers. And so basically the watchers is there's 2 buttons, and it's got a bunch of little figures with like a light blue colored eye. And if you hit the left and the right, you can change the color of the eyes. And so you have like basically 3 different NFTs in one. And depending on which one you like, you can switch back and forth and just change the eye colors around. Then if you hit a button, you can download that specific color. And so it's kind of a 3-in-1 NFT,
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so you get like they call them like in the post, like concert posters or art prints and stuff like that. They call them like variant images, when you have like a different color. You have one colorway, and then they'll have a variant colorway, and you might sell different runs or whatever. And so it's just kind of things that are possible with NFTs. And Zeb Retief is always just he's got a new one coming. I can't even talk about it, but I mean, it's just
Not to get too far off topic, but the end goal, I think maybe I'll just end up doing it on my own. Was if you create something that people expect to have more, it's kind of like a Banksy, right? A Banksy is going to be controversial and it's probably going to be put up in some random place. And I know that they've said that people, when Banksy went to Israel and started painting all over Israel, people were literally cutting the wall out and taking the original Banksy out of the wall of the building and reselling it, which is absolutely ridiculous. But
I mean, that
it's
now with Banksy, that always happens now. Like you just
right.
always see
Well,
the
that's what I'm saying.
missing wall.
Right, but that's the point I'm trying to make is that Banksy became a thing due to his controversy and due to his avant-garde style. Um, if an NFT creator would do it, I would greatly do it if I had the artistic skill to do so. But I mean, I have the intrigue ideal. Um, was to make an NFT. And this is totally off the top of my head, but after listening to you, this is where I get the idea from. Was to make an NFT that had sub functionality, um, but was secretive and not mentioned. It's like remember in the day back LP or records where an artist might include a hidden track, right? And you wouldn't know unless you listened to the whole album
Right.
until you get to the end, and then suddenly there's this extra album that's not, or extra song that's not listed on the album at all. How would you have even known if you hadn't bought the album? Now nowadays, because of social media, people can find out, hey, there's a hidden track, and you can immediately find it. But then people don't even get albums anymore, anyways. Like you're talking about this virtual CD concept, but this NFTs can be that thing again, a hidden feature within the hidden feature within the hidden feature within the hidden feature. And I guess what I'm trying to get at is, if you start producing things that have hidden features by default, then everyone will just expect it, and then that will drive up the value. And then, and I guess I don't remember who did it. Somebody did with an NFT not that long ago, where they hid a function within the NFT that they didn't announce at all. It wasn't there, like when Banksy had his piece of art automatically shred itself before when it was purchased, and that kind of thing. Maybe the NFT deletes itself
Oh,
after
I hope not.
after let's say I don't know how you do that in the blockchain, but I mean, um, after 30 days, it's gone, and you only get it for 30 days. But that kind of level of thing makes the thing that much more valuable when you look at it. And I guess that's the thing I keep looking at is within the digital scope, it's possible to make things a whole lot more intriguing than
Right.
just a physical object would ever have been.
Right. I mean, that's
I'm
kind
sorry.
of that's kind of the thing I've kind of learned early on with RVNFT is and especially partnering up with Zebra Teeth like this and just it's just like this. Really, it's up to your imagination on what you want to do with these digital arts. I mean, you can, like I said, I guess okay. One of the common sales pitches of Ravencoin is that it's tokenization made easy. And in a lot of cases, that's true, right? Like you can easily make a token on the Ravencoin wallets, and you can easily drop a PNG or a JPEG file, into IPFS, and bam, you got yourself a token, right? But like it could be really hard to make a token too, like you got to do all this legwork, like our Ravencoin white paper that took like 6 months to develop. Like
Yeah.
it just depends what you want to do, and so I'm not saying any way is right or wrong. This is just like what I'm into personally, and so that's what I'm kind of focused on is just with the innovative stuff. But like people are into all kinds of different things, and people. The great thing about humanity is that we're all different, and you can embrace everyone's different opinions and everyone's different tastes and what they like, and what they maybe don't like, and and so I think more importantly is just bringing people in and getting people involved in the space, and then I think you're just going to see artists receiving more success and more notoriety and all kinds of other things based on default, just by just the sheer numbers of people that are into it. And so, well, yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yep. Well,
You mentioned earlier about the collective. Can you explain to the viewers and listeners what the RV and NFT Artists Collective Network is all about?
So I mean, it's kind of an artist collective, right? So I mean, I guess if I had to explain what RVNFT was more than anything, it's like a virtual artist gallery. I guess I'm a curator or circus ringleader is what I like to be referred to, or of a band of misfit artists. And so just we got our Discord and we got a bunch of artists there that can kind of it's a free, open, creative space where people can share ideas and bounce ideas off each other, or share inspiration, or share new NFT technologies, or just share new ideas or new concepts, and you know it's just a collective of artists that just kind of all hang out and have fun and kind of get to know each other, and just we all kind of feed off each other, I guess. You talk about like branding or whatever. You can be an artist who mints their own main asset and does their own thing entirely and doesn't talk to anybody and just mints stuff, and you can have success that way, right? If you're a really good, talented artist, there's no barrier to not being successful that way too, right? But then there's also people that think that, maybe when you work together on things, maybe you can accomplish things potentially greater than yourself. And so that's kind of where my head's at with it. It's like just having a bunch of artists all hang out with all their creativity and all their technical and abilities and whatnot, all, just all kind of come together and just hang out. I mean, I just think ideas kind of just sprout because of that. And so that's really just kind of what it is. It's an artist collective.
Awesome. Perfect. Yeah. I just wanted to know what it was all about, so everybody knows, the listeners and viewers that are not involved in this project know what it's about.
There's no right or wrong way to do it. This is all about you. What do you want? If you want to go it alone and do your own thing and create your own brand, go ahead. If you don't, or you want to do a little bit of both, or any, I mean, like half and half, or 75-25, or all in, whatever,
There's an event.
Permissionless and censorship resistant, man. You can do whatever you want on Ravencoin.
Yeah, absolutely. There's an event coming up on January 8th. I'm sure you know what that event's all about, but not everyone does.
Right. So Humble Miner and I, this has actually been a long idea of mine. Humble Miner was actually one of the very first booths I built over at the Expo Hall at Braveland way back in the day, and that's why he's got front and center spot, because he basically had his pick of the litter. But anyways, he did a really successful Braveland event, I don't know, a month or so ago. Obviously, John, you were involved with that, with streaming it and everything. I wasn't able to make it. I had to work that evening, so I wasn't able to make it. But I heard it was very successful and everyone had a good time. And that was kind of more technical talks with like Tron and Doug, and then they had an auction at the concert hall after that. This is for me what I've always wanted to do with Braveland ever since I was kind of got my start over there, was utilize the expo hall to kind of do an NFT flea market. And so basically what we're trying to do is we want to bring a bunch of artists who can create work for sale. We'll build them a booth in the expo hall. And then, the cool thing about the expo hall is you can get 5 different images that you can put on in your booth, and you can actually link those images to a shop page or a store page. And so if someone walks by your booth and you talk to them and you get to know them, like, hey, that's a cool dude, I like that artist, the guy or girl, and I like that artist, I'll buy their work. All you gotta do is click on that image that you like, and then it'll take you to a shop page and you can purchase it right away. And so I feel like, this interactive idea of a flea market is super untapped potential of the space when it comes to NFTs. And so that's what we're going to try to do. It's going to be a 24-hour event on January 8th. Not exactly sure what the start time is and what time zone that starts. We'll obviously have more details. We have a registration form created, and so if artists, that's going to be on a first come first served basis. The artists have to produce 5 artworks for sale to get a booth. I don't want an artist requesting a booth and then they only bring 1 piece of art. You got to fill your booth. You can fill your booth, or it's a platform, like Black Dog or JNFTs, and they have their own platform, and they have obviously have tons of things they can sell, and they want to build a booth too. Obviously, platforms can have their own booths, but if you're an artist, we want 5 pieces that you can sell. and then we're going to build you a booth, and then whatever time slots you want to show up, you're free to do it within that 24-hour period. If you only want to be there a couple hours or whatever, then that's fine. But we're going to encourage people be there, because the whole purpose of this whole thing is to get to know each other, right? And to get to know some of the other artists in the community, and the collectors can have face-to-face time with some of the artists they enjoy, or some of the platforms they enjoy. And obviously I've been talking to you guys a lot about a lot of innovation stuff. I'm going to use this opportunity to demo the hell out of what I got. I got so many cool things I think that RV NFT is minting for people. Like, I want to show it off, and so I'm going to utilize that time to demo a lot of my stuff. And so, registration's going on now. If you need to get a hold of us, you either talk to me or talk to Humble Miner. We'll get you added to the list. Obviously, space is limited at the expo hall, so it's going to be first come, first serve. I'm sorry, you're late to the party. It's just going to be what it is. We're going to have a cutoff at some point. But another thing we're going to do is we have a bunch of musicians that we've collected under the hood of RV NFT, and we're going to do a first listening party and potentially the first ever live concert at the concert hall during this time as well. And so I want to really show off the virtual CDs and just some of the other different ways that we can present music to musicians and just collectors, kind of maybe get to know some of the musicians that have been doing some things, because I really don't think the music NFT is a super untapped potential, right? Like, music is personally, for me, my number one passion. Like, I am a music lover over everything. I love music so much, and I think music and NFTs are like a match made in heaven. And so I really want to get things kicked off and go on with the music stuff. Whatever I can do through RV NFT, but even just as an ambassador or an endorser of music NFTs, period, on Ravencoin, I'm all for it. And so I'm going to use this opportunity where we hopefully can get a good number of people into this expo hall event, and then also have a simultaneous, maybe an abbreviated event as well, going on over at some point in the concert hall too. So I think it's a pretty good space to do that kind of thing. So, and it'll just give people a choice and an option whether they want to go into the expo hall and buy some artwork NFTs, or they maybe want to go into the music hall and check out maybe some of the music stuff and hang out with some of the musicians. And so,
nice.
Yeah, it's January 8th.
January 8th, absolutely. What time is it going to start?
Don't know, man. I don't remember.
Hey, Jake, we gotta get in there, man. We gotta get our booth.
We'll have more information as it continues to go. Humble Miner had just released a tweet yesterday or 2 days ago or something like that, and so it's got the time on it. I'm pretty sure when it starts, but I don't remember personally.
Okay. All right. Here's a few questions from the community that.
Oh boy.
Are you ready? Are you ready for it?
Okay.
Oh, okay. First
Hopefully
question.
they're not too technical, because they're really going to expose me as being I don't know code that well, so I'm not a developer.
You're fine.
If you talk about things like P2SH, I don't know. That sounds like fish to me. The band
It sounds like fish.
Fish 2.0.
You said it earlier, man. You said it earlier that Ravencoin is pretty much for everybody. You do what you want with it, and you're the type of person that you came in from this particular angle. You're not the coder. You're not the developer. You just prove to everybody that you don't have to have those technical skills. Dude, you're still blowing it up. You're still doing a Ravencoin movement more powerful than the average person out there that's in Ravencoin. Right?
Obviously, I'm not gonna take all the credit for that. Obviously, there's been a lot of people who've been working their ass off to make this happen. You know what I mean? I'm just a piece.
Yeah.
But yeah, just constantly. That's why I got involved. Right? It's like I don't have the coding skills. I can't write it for development. A lot of times the developers talk about things. I don't really know what the hell they're talking about. I just love decentralized technology. I can see I'm in it for the revolution, right? Like, I'm in it for empowering people, right? Like, I think truly decentralized networks have the ability to give people in third world some economic opportunity to be able to tokenize whatever the heck you want. I think is going to be very empowering for people that maybe don't have access to banks or some kind of financial resources. And so, I'm mainly in this for the revolution. I want to clear a better path for future generations of people, and I think that blockchain's got a huge opportunity to provide something like that.
All right, before I get to the community questions, I am here on your website on rvnft.art registration. It's sign up to RV NFT, right? Are you able to see that, Vicky?
No, I just got watch stream. I
Okay,
mean, I know. Oh,
there you go.
I got to click watch stream. Okay.
Uh huh. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so in regards to the whole sign up process, this looks fairly easy. It's simple. It's very easy to understand. My question is, how secure is that password there? Would you happen to know that? Like, because for me, I like to use my master private keys to all of my crypto as my password. So when I put that password in there, my private keys, how secure is that password?
Do not do that. Don't use your private keys. No, 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 no. I mean, I don't know what your
I thought you weren't
password is,
technical, man.
but please don't do that. No, no. Keep your private keys safe and secure. Don't put them anywhere on the internet. I mean, certainly not on my website. No. Oh, it's basically just a simple login. I mean, it really doesn't do very much. It kind of just identifies the buyer to
Okay.
me when I get invoice emails on what gets ordered and whatnot. And so
Are
it's
you
just, I mean,
able to see those passwords?
I don't believe so. And if I do, I've never looked at them. I hope not.
Okay. All right. So I'm assuming you didn't build this website then.
No, someone that originally who I was working with
Okay.
did. I mean, I helped out, but yeah, most of the technical stuff
All right, here
wasn't
we
done
go.
by me.
Ready for the questions. First question is, where do you see the Raven NFT ecosystem heading to in the future?
All I'm gonna say is, if you're around long enough, you'll probably laugh at where it is today. I don't know. I just think it's going to be rapidly changing. I think there's going to be when more people come in and there's more education and people learn about new things and maybe different certain fads or whatever die out and certain new fads get started. I mean, and you get new platforms offering new things and just kind of new kind of tech. Obviously, with Ravencoin, when you get something added to the chain like P2SH, that's obviously going to change the dynamic of what can be done with some of these platforms and marketplaces and whatnot. And so, I think, like everything else, I think it's just going to be a wildly different landscape as you continue to follow along with it. I can tell you from experience, just in the 6 or 7 months that I've been involved, I have learned and evolved 1,000 times since the day I started RV NFT. I mean, there's so much more I know and so much more I'm dreaming of that I can even, potentially even help bring into reality, that I didn't even, I mean, this wouldn't even have been beyond my wildest dreams or even realm of thought back in May or whatever, April or May. And so I think, it's just going to take more people getting educated, coming into the system or the ecosystem. And I think things are just going to continue to evolve. I don't know exactly where it's going to go. Hell, I don't even want to know where it's going to go. I just kind of go with the flow, I just like to do what I want to do, I don't know. If the people like it, they like it. If they don't, I don't know.
Another one, but another question, but I believe you already answered it. But I'll read it out to you because it's part of the list here. Can you elaborate on the NFT minting process and talk about some of the different types of NFTs that can be created? And you kind of already went over that more or less.
Basically, for the most part, you got your main, which is, I mean, when it comes to NFTs, you got your main asset, which is 500 Raven, and that's where if you were an artist wanting to do something on your own, that's kind of where you'd put your artist name. Or if you had a specific project, like some of these generative art projects that are going on, that's where you'd put that main name, right? And so that's 500 Raven, and then if you wanted to do kind of like a kind of I don't know, like I call it generic, but just like a high volume token based off of your main, you do a sub asset, which is 100 Raven, which you can print millions of those, right? And so they're all the same tokens, right? There's no different naming or whatever. It's just all one sub asset, and that's 100 Raven. And then you have the unique, which is kind of like your literal definition of an NFT, even though I don't really know if NFT is specifically, a unique asset or, I mean, kind of definitions kind of become broader than that, right? And so, but a unique would be your one of one that you can only mint one of, and that's 5 Raven.
Here's another.
And it's non-reissuable. The feature with the unique that you need to know about is non-reissuable, so someone can't change. If you mint a unique token, someone cannot just go and change it, even if they have an ownership token attached to it. Like they can, if you set it to, you can set it to reissuable on a sub, and you can set it to reissuable on a main, and so you can change IPFS or something like that. You can reissue the asset and you can change it. Unique asset you can't. Once it's minted, it's forever.
Yep. Yep. In regards, here's another question, and I'm trying to understand the question. I'm just gonna read it out to you and see if you understand it. Are you able to get sales data / metrics?
Yeah, I have sales data on my website. Yeah, I mean, as far as displaying it on my site, no, I'm more of a primary market. It's just kind of like I said, I'm not really an auction site. I'm not a secondary market, and so when people buy an NFT, if they want to resell it somewhere, they have to go to a different platform. But
Okay.
I'm acting more of like a gallery, right? Like a curated art gallery,
Okay.
and so I'm trying to have different types of controls. It's not a free for all where maybe some scammers can hang out and rip people off or whatever. I'm trying to make sure I'm providing quality, and it's just a primary set price that the artist decides, and if a collector wants to buy it, they buy it, and then if they want to resell it, then they would go to a different a secondary marketplace and try to sell it.
Okay.
But I do have sales data, yes.
But it's not available for the customers themselves.
Right.
Okay. Right. Where do you see your marketplace going in the future? Like, what's the next step here with RVNFT?
So what I've been talking about doing for a very long time, and I know some of the other platforms are starting to do it as well, is I want to eventually at some point, I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon, and we haven't really even started working on it, but it's been on the plan since May or June of this year even. I mean, been a long time, is to eventually have a virtual 3D gallery, like a lot of the places on Ethereum galleries have or whatever, and just kind of a place where I can display artwork and then just have links to sales. And then I also want to combo it up with a P2P automation, something like a Raven Trader or whatever, where a customer can just directly buy, no middleman transaction fee or whatever, and just completely free of charge through Raven Trader. That's where I see RVNFT going eventually.
Okay. All right.
As far as like auctioning and stuff like that, I'm not sure. I see that in the cars, maybe. I mean, I'm never closed off to anything, So, but right now, that's not in the plans to be an auction site or some other things. I want to see how this landscape starts to play out more before I commit to auction sites, because I see some potential ways that people are manipulating them on other chains that I don't really.
You're working with a lot of people. Are you able to give a shout out or plugs to those people that you've been working with? Obviously, you did mention two people, Johnny Raven and is Zebratif.
And so I want to give first of all, I was talking to One Guy Games earlier. I want to give a shout out to him. During the Braveland event, he's going to have he's going to be working on an experimental game that's going to be released during Braveland. That's going to mix a bit of both of his music and game development skills. He's got a Steam game out already. He's a pretty talented video game developer.
One Guy Games.
In a game. And so actually one of the cool things that's going to happen here is, I'm going to give you a little hint. 4 of his recent music singles that we've released of his via virtual CD might be more than meets the eye. Let's put it that way.
Ah.
Yeah.
Jake,
so you guys,
Jake,
you like your scavenger hunt.
Jake.
So keep in mind that through One Guy Games, he's had his 4 most recent music singles, which are all up for purchase in our marketplace, are going to play a role somehow in his video game that he's going to be releasing during our Braveland event on January 8th. Some other shout outs I want to give. Let's see. I just want to make sure I'm covering everything we were talking about. I don't want to leave anyone out.
Mm-hmm. There's Hark NFT. You know anything about that?
Huh?
Hark.
Oh, okay. So SOS on site, I want to give a shout out to him. He's kind of one of my music RVNFT music buddies. We kind of nerd out on a bunch of stuff via DM and just on the Raven chat, and he's got some super cool NFTs. He's going to be actually kind of the organizer for the music listening party. So I'm going to have him kind of set the agenda and the schedules. And he also potentially could be the guy to deliver us our first ever live concert in Braveland, in the history of Braveland. And so I want to give a shout out to him. He's got this really cool NFT that we just came out with called like, it's like, that Hark song, holiday song. We created an NFT of that. And that's up in our marketplace too. And I don't know, it's just really goofy and corny. It's got a video of keg tossing, just stupid random stuff. But I want to give him a shout out. I mentioned Joaquin. I mentioned One Guy Games. Also, lastly, I want to give a shout out to the other artists who contributed to our Ravencoin white paper. Joe Sheepy, Minty, from my friends over at Portland Poetry. She's an extremely talented artist. Hopefully, I'll see some more work from her soon. Zebratief's girlfriend, 33 Moss, contributed a piece of art. A guy who's no longer with us, and I mean not like dead, but not with Ravencoin community anymore. Stanley C. Lewis, who some people might know as CD Trader from back in the day. He contributed a piece of artwork to this, and so it was a real community effort. It wasn't just Zebratief and I working on it. We got some contributions from other NFT artists, and so I'm excited to we've kind of linked them up in our white paper so that you can check out their socials and their Instagrams and stuff like that, and giving them credit for their work in the white paper too. And so I want to give them a shout out as well. And yeah, that's about it, I think.
Awesome. Hey, Jake.
The thing is, we're gonna hang up here, and I'm just gonna be like, oh, I missed talking about that guy.
It happens.
I want to give a shout out to the Drop Shop crew. I know we talked earlier, but I'm always hanging with those guys and gals. So
Hey,
shout out to you guys too.
Don't forget, shout out to moms and dads, man. One of my other guests got scolded because mom watched his interview with me, and mom got mad. So always shout out to moms.
There is absolutely 0.000 chance my mom or dad will ever end up watching this podcast, but shout out to you anyways.
To all the moms and dads.
All love, nothing but love.
All right, Jake, do you have any questions?
Oh, sorry. I had myself on mute still.
Okay, perfect.
No, actually, it's been great to listen to all the interesting information that Ricky's been able to provide. I didn't want to interject again and cause the podcast to go off track one more time. So thanks, Ricky.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, I want to say one more thing.
Go ahead.
I can't wait for you to interview Push. That is awesome. You got him coming on, man. I'm super excited for what he's got coming on, man. He's been one of my longtime homeboys on Raven, man. So I know he doesn't get out as much as like Tron or Doug or whatever, and so I don't get to hear him speak a lot. And so I'm really excited you got him on your schedule. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing that one.
He's still on, man. I still talk to him daily. This guy is so inspirational. Like he's my daily spiritual medicine. Like seriously.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So honestly, he's a story of just never give up, man, because he's had some stuff go on in his life that hasn't been all that great, and he's rebounded, and I'm really excited for what he's got to offer, and he's back with the Ravencoin community, and I can't wait to hear his podcast, and I really hope that whatever the stuff he's working on right now, I really hope really takes off and is a huge success for him. So I'm super happy, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that podcast.
All right, Jake, let's get ready to
kudos
wrap this
to you
up.
guys for having him on.
Yeah.
What's up, John?
All right, Jake, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Let's get
Cool. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
My apologies.
I probably appreciate everybody being able to come out and listen to this. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you want to hear more content. That is, watch more content, because some of us are listening on Anchor. We appreciate that too. Hit the notification bell. We, as I said before, post every Wednesday and Sunday for the 10 daily stats and news. A lot of people seem to be interested in that, so you can check us out those days. Like I said, we'll be having more interviews on every Thursday till the end of the year. We've got Tron Black coming up, I believe, next week. And then, as you guys had mentioned before, where'd my calendar go? I had it up a second ago. Oh, not so important. We can get to it. We'll talk about it later. Please check us out on Discord and on Twitter Live Spaces for the Crypto Chillin' chat. We're also on Patreon. You can get additional information there, like additional interview information and AMAs. And if you want to contribute to the platform in any other way besides those methods, you can give us Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, or Basic Attention Token. All information is in the description below.
Below. below. All right, Ricky. That is a conclusion, man. Thank you for being on the
All right.
podcast.
Yeah,
Until
yeah,
next
thank
time.
you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Hopefully it's not another 6 months, man. Hopefully there's some big news
Hey,
that's coming up pretty soon.
hey, you know what? I always got things going on, and so anytime you want to chat, man, I'm up for it, open for it. I love spreading the gospel of the NFTs, man. This has become a huge passion of mine, and so I'm happy to help advance that however I can. So
Sounds good.
anytime, man, you just
So-
reach out.
How do the listeners and viewers around the world? This podcast is reaching nearly 100 nations now. How do people get in touch with you to get that Ravencoin white paper next Wednesday on December 8th?
So, I mean, follow me on Twitter, RVNFTArt. I'm going to probably blast that out when it's ready. I'm going to be on as many socials as I can to make an announcement. Hopefully, some of the moderators on some of the other boards will assist me in that. I'm hoping to get as many people as I can who can kind of help spread the word. And so, if you're interested in helping share tokens or kind of getting the word out and helping me out with that. And I want this to be a huge viral marketing campaign because I mean, this is like it's a gift to the Ravencoin community. I think it's something we could insanely be proud. If you love Ravencoin, I think this will be a token you can really be proud of. And so I just want to get it into as many hands as I possibly can. And so just get in touch with me, RVNFT at protonmail.com. You can email me. Hit me up on the socials. You guys know where I'm at and where I hang out. And so yeah, whatever we could do. So, but Wednesday it'll be coming out. I'll make the announcement Wednesday, and I'll try to find as many people as I can to start spreading it around.
All right. With that said, Kryptonauts and Ravenites all around the world, thank you for watching and listening. Until next time, stack sats and huddle. Adios.